Alright guys, so I thought I would deviate from my usual videos of doing sparring, different drills and techniques and things to help you in point sparring, and talk about breaking. Breaking is one of those things that I just absolutely love. It's so much fun to hit stuff really hard, but more importantly, it's really good to hit stuff very well. There's a difference between just smacking something as hard as you can and then having really good, proper technique in order to break something. You'll notice that some things are easier to break than others, and it's not necessarily how strong you are, but the correct technique that you have going into the object. So I thought I would do something more than just boards. I thought I would break a couple pieces of concrete for you and explain how I get there, how I set up for it, and how I do all this stuff. And then I want to tell you about something awesome at the very end of the video. But real quick, so these are 8 by 16 inch, 2-inch patio blocks. So you can just pick these up at Menards. Now, Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. The ones that I have, I can't find any that aren't grooved. Yeah, the grooves make it a little bit easier to hit. Not that much, but they're hard to find without the grooves here in my Indianapolis stores that I have around here. So I'm going to break 2 of these together. Now, what you ultimately want to do is have some spacers in here. I'm using these 1/4 inch by 1 inch key stock. Again, you can pick these up at Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever. And I'm using 4 pieces. I think that just kind of looks cooler whenever you hit it because they kind of fly when you break, and it kind of has a little bit of a metallic sound whenever they fall and everything too. So you don't want to use, you can use wood, you can use different things like that. The only caveat I'll give to you that is that it will compress a little bit whenever you hit. The metal won't compress at all, so does it make it a little easier? Yeah, it makes it a little easier. It's not about that. It's about hitting something really difficult and going through it that way. So you put those 4 pieces on the corners that I have there, and then I just put my patio block right on top of it. I also put the grooves facing down on these. Again, I would love to break them without the grooves. I just can't find any here in Indianapolis. At Home Depot, Menards, or wherever I've been, nowhere's had them to break. So when I set up for a concrete block break, I'm going to try to put all of my energy straight down into the concrete. If you notice, my 2 pieces of, not patio block, excuse me, but my cinder blocks are facing up this way. Any higher than that and it gets really difficult to break, so I try to just use those 2 there. You can put a little bit more under there if you're taller, but it's really hard for shorter guys to get your arm down enough force to do it. One of the things when you go to hit, you want to make sure that you've got as much of a good solid arm here when you hit. If you've got too much of a bend in your elbow, it's going to be too spongy and the energy is not going to go all the way through your technique. The other thing that I like to do too, for me personally, is I like to turn more of a 45-degree angle as I come through it. I'm going to bend my knee as I drop my weight, and I'm going to come up and drop my weight down and hit through my target. So I'm going to go all the way through the bricks. I come up and down and through. Now these are solid pieces of concrete. I haven't pre-drilled them or anything. I showed you the grooves earlier. There's little grooves. They're design grooves. They're not, doesn't change the makeup of the brick. It still makes it very hard to hit a brick. And this is more for how to break this thing than anything. For me, I have to go somewhere mentally and get really psyched and prepared when I hit anything. If I don't hit the best that I can. One key thing that Master Chip Townsend made sure to tell me was that when I do it, to yell. Getting that in that right mindset helps with making that break super powerful and super focused. So when you're approaching your break, get in that breaking mindset. Step out of what you're doing, focus on the obstacle in front of you, and go through it that way. So again, for me, I like to come up to it, turn 45 degrees, and then these are not practices for me, these are mindset setters. So I get here and I drive through and I'm clearing my mind, I'm focusing my mind on my break. I'm not focusing on the technique anymore because I have that dialed in. To practice on things like this beforehand, don't go right to concrete, obviously, if you're not comfortable breaking a downward palm strike. Start on plastic boards, start on real boards, and build up to hitting 1 piece of concrete before you go to 2. focus through what you're doing. Make sure that your technique is solid, because if your technique's not solid, your break is not going to be solid. You won't be able to go through these bricks. Focus on your technique. You know, if you've got the rebreakable boards, hit a brown board, hit a black board, put a brown and an orange board together, then put a black and an orange board together, and just practice through that. If you're hitting wood, put 3 pieces of wood down and go through the wood. Don't put any spacers down. You don't need spacers for wood whenever you're breaking just 3 or 4 pieces of wood, and really just start smacking it that way. By all means, I'm not saying you shouldn't use wood. You shouldn't use spacers with wood. Whatever you're doing, that's probably the best thing for you. But when you're practicing for what it feels like to hit concrete, don't put any spacers in there. You just kind of get used to hitting it that way. And again, build up. Start at 1 board. Start putting a 2nd board on top. Start putting a 3rd board on top. Get used to it. Then when you're ready, put a piece of concrete down. I'm gonna break this board, or excuse me, I'm gonna break these bricks, and then I'm gonna tell you about an awesome opportunity for you guys, and something that's really cool that I think you guys will love too. I mentioned Master Chip Townsend earlier. Super cool guy, 14-time world champion in power breaking. That helped me through a lot of my breaking techniques, and we'll talk more about him. I did an awesome kicking video when I went down to visit him in Abilene, and I'll link to that video in the description box down below. But right now, let's break these bricks. That's how you break 2 pieces of concrete. So, a couple things that I want to mention real quick. I had the opportunity to work with Master Townsend on an awesome website. He goes through and talks about breaking. He's done breaking so many times in the past, where he has done concrete breaks and bat breaks and wood breaks and multiple pieces of wood and speed breaking and everything. He has so much experience breaking, and he was had the opportunity to bring all of that curriculum together into one resource called Break Like a Champ. So it's breaklikeachamp.com, and I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to work on that website. So I don't know if a lot of you guys know it or not, but I actually own a media company on top of what I do here at the Martial Arts School and with my YouTube channel as well. And so I work on different things, digital advertising and all kinds of fun stuff. And so he came to me and said, hey, I want to build this website called Break Like a Champ. And he goes in, and there's so much stuff in there to learning how to break, just with round kicks, with front kicks, with punches, with just all kinds of wild techniques too. And it's amazing. So you can check that out at breaklikeachamp.com. There's also something really awesome for school owners too, is that there's an instructor section, or martial arts instructors. There's an entire instructor section on there as well. That's an additional buy, so you can go on there and purchase that with it too, and that includes done for you curriculum and more ideas on how to set up breaks and how to build a breaking program in your own school and all of those things. So check that out as well. Now, the fun and awesome thing that I have to share with you guys is that Master Townsend has allowed me to give everybody that's watching this YouTube video a 40% off of their fee. So when you go on there, you can use a coupon code of Jordan Brown Kicks, JORDNBRWN Kicks, and that will give you 40% off of your entire cart. So you can jump on breaklikeachamp.com, put in the coupon code of Jordan Brown Kicks, and get 40% off of your entire cart. So make sure you do that. We'll have that available, the coupon code available for a while. Jump on there, hit that coupon code, put that in there, and get that 40% off. Like I said, it's an amazing program. You get access to it. It's for life. It's not a monthly fee. It's a one-time fee that you pay, and you have access to it for life. So check it out. Check out Master Townsend. He's all over everything. It's Chip Townsend. He's on YouTube. Look at his 4 bat break. He broke 4 baseball bats with his shin in 1 kick. An amazing break. Check him out on Facebook, on Instagram, and everywhere else. And he's also got a new program coming out too called Kick Like a Champ. And he's doing some amazing things. So make sure you find him, follow him, subscribe to him, do everything that you can, because he is an amazing martial artist and an awesome person to follow. So hit that up. I'll put the coupon code with the link down in the description box. Do me a favor, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. It helps us grow the channel, so that way we can reach as many people as we can with our different types of techniques that we do with point sparring, and even forms tips, and the occasional breaking as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.